everyone, it's your friend Thinknoodles, and welcome to Ask Think episode number 105 for Monday, June 9th, 2014. And guys, I bet you're wondering how many likes were on last week's video. And we barely broke 1,000, which wasn't anywhere near the likes target, so nobody got even close. And I've been thinking about it. You know, I actually like the question asking, where I ask you guys a question and feature about, I don't know, 20 of your answers. A lot better than the likes target thing, and not a lot of people guess the likes anymore anyway. More people are answering the question, and I like that better. I think it's more fun. So that's the tradition we're gonna continue. We're gonna forget the likes thing and setting likes targets. I always hate those goals anyway. So that's what we're gonna do from now on. And last week's question, guys, was what is your favorite dinosaur and why? And there was a huge range of answers for it. And this person said my favorite dinosaur is Charizard. Someone said Megacroc and Megalodon because I guess they like the aggressive ones. And then a ton of people, which I expected, said Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is also mine. And for the same reasons, is because it's huge and powerful and has these tiny little arms. And they're really cute. And then came a bunch of unexpected ones. A lot of people said Noodlesaurus for, I guess, various reasons, and some of them were really, really funny. You guys can read them on screen right now. They really had some good stories as to why the Noodlesaurus was their favorite dinosaur. And then Sarah N came up with Triceratops because her name is Sarah and it has her name in it, kind of. I mean, it's spelled differently, but yeah, Triceratops, which I thought was really original. Diplodocus because it's a really big one. Someone said Godzilla. Hey, no discrimination. That is absolutely valid. A couple of people said Ankylosaurus because of colors and it uses its tail. This other person really knows their dinosaurs and are happy that they didn't eat me as a kid. And then, of course, the joke continued that I had seen dinosaurs and that I am their favorite dinosaur. And I thought that was pretty funny as well. And then there were even some Kopi dinosaurs, and even someone referenced Donald from the Jurassic Park video. So that's why I really like these answers to the questions rather than just doing likes, targets, and things like that. This is way more fun for you guys and way more fun for me, and makes me laugh, and I hope it makes you guys laugh as well. Now, before we get to the questions, you guys want next week's question, and it comes to us from KChamp4. Now, I'm not always going to use someone's suggestion for a question, but you guys have been pretty good so far. So, KChamp4 says, can your next question for us be, what is your favorite drink? And his is Butterbeer from Harry Potter. So, tell me what your favorite drink is and why. Now, before we get to the questions, I want to remind you to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. Now, on to the questions, and the first one is from Carson Smith, and she says, hey Think, can you give us a schedule of each day you do a certain video, like Think's Lab is on Saturdays and Wednesdays? Please put on Ask Think Thinks. Yep, I've started doing that over the last couple of weeks. You may or may not have noticed in the descriptions, because I noticed this. I was watching, I don't even remember what, but I was on an iPad, and I was like, wow, this isn't in a playlist because I don't see the next video in this series. Like, I know there's another episode after this. Where is it? Why is it not the next in the playlist? It just had suggested videos on the side, and the next one wasn't there. And then I got on my computer and I looked in the playlist and it was there and it did say next. And I was like, wow. So I went on my own videos and I looked and I realized that the playlist feature doesn't really work on the iPad unless you're in the playlist. Also goes for iPhone as well. If you just click on the video, like in my recent videos, or just, you search for, Thinknoodles survival and you end up on episode 86, and you had just clicked that and not through the playlist, episode 87 may not be the next suggested video. So I've started including a link to the next video in the video, so, or in the description of the video. So, for example, I just did 108 or 106, I don't remember, for survival, and it says, you know, next episode on Wednesday or next episode on Thursday, and that's what I've been doing. And then once I make the next episode, I go and fill in the link so that if you're on a mobile platform, you can see what's next, and you can just click the link, because on the mobile platform, it automatically, I guess, opens up part of the description, so it's right there for you. The schedule is there somewhat. If you look on the videos, it'll say next this day, next that day. But here it is basically. Monday is Ask Think. Tuesday is Pixelmon, and sometimes Hexit. I'm trying to do Hexit twice a week. So starting, well, last week and this week. So Tuesday is, again, Pixel Core and Hexit. Wednesday is Thinks Lab. Thursday is Survival. Friday is Hexit again. Saturday is Thinks Lab again, and Sunday is Survival. So that's how it goes. And of course, I'll mix in mini games. Mini games are never going to be only a mini game on a day or only a Hunger Games. Those will be mixed in with those other series that are, you know, almost everyone is twice a week, other than Ask Think. Nicolette's S asks, Think, do you hate Mondays? And Taco Man 002MC says, Think likes every day because he has no job. Well, no, I don't hate Mondays. I love Mondays, but not because I don't have a job. Contrary to what you guys might think, doing this consumes more of my time than a regular job would. Although it is a lot more fun, I will give you that. It is still a ton of work. Turtle Dude says, Think, since it's the 2-year anniversary, what did you do for you and your wife's anniversaries, and what was the best anniversary you had? Well, the 2-year anniversary of Ask Think really doesn't have much to do with our anniversaries, but I know you know that, and I know you're just saying, hey, anniversary, anniversary. And the funny thing about that is tomorrow is my 4-year wedding anniversary to my wife. So that's quite a coincidence that you ask this, and quite appropriate. And what we're doing tomorrow is going to see our favorite band play a concert. Dave Matthews Band, we're going to be going tomorrow, and that's what we're going to do for our anniversary. X, Real Gaming X asks, have you ever been asked a question that was really good but you couldn't come up with an answer to it? Nope, not really. I mean, I'm sure that there have been questions that I've asked on Ask Think or answered on Ask Think, and I haven't answered them completely or thoroughly, but I always attempt to, and I always come up with something. Oops, missed this one. Sean McCarthy says Yoshi was his favorite dinosaur, which I thought was a really, really good one. Raymond Zhang asks, are you planning to have a child? Yes, we do want to have children, and still hasn't been the right time, but probably sooner than later, and we want to have 2 kids. Sophia Grillo asks, I know this is a crazy thing, but what would you name a kid that is your boy and girl? Probably Noodler and Noodlette, or Noodlerette, or Noodle 1 and Noodle 2, maybe? I don't know, I'd have to clear it with my wife first, I think. The next couple of people are talking about iOS 8 and OS X Yosemite, which were announced at WWDC last week, and I think they're pretty awesome. I put iOS 8 onto my iPad mini. Bad idea. It's really, really laggy, and I have not put it onto my iPhone yet because of that, although it may be just fine. The iPad mini is quite old, but I really, really like the things that they added to it with the extensibility, the prospects of the apps that you're going to see. Really, really exciting for iOS, and especially with the new programming language that they invented. It's pretty cool. As far as Yosemite, I've seen some features that I really like, especially dark mode. The thing is, I just, on 2 Saturdays ago, upgraded to Mavericks. I had been on 10.8 until 2 weeks ago. Finally got around to upgrading because of performance reasons, and a few of the devices that I used did not have support in Mavericks until fairly recently, so it might be another year before I upgrade to Yosemite. Peter Kai asks, Thinknoodles, have you ever seen someone wearing your sweatshirt in the street? No, I have not seen anyone wearing any Thinknoodles apparel ever. Yvonne Brotherhood says, I think, guess what? I'm going to New York in 1 to 2 weeks, but I have a question. What's it like to live there? Is it loud or is it quiet? And I've never been to New York or America before. Who knows? I might meet you, Noodle on. that's true. Who knows? Well, it depends on where you're coming from. It is loud, probably compared to most everywhere else. It is quite loud, but you get used to it living here. But I think if you've never been to a big city, you're going to find it really, really loud. Aaron Handley asks, do you like Full House? If you do, what's your favorite character? My favorite character, of course, Comet the dog. CP Insiders fan says, hey Thing, I have a short question for you. I'm fairly new to YouTube and have been getting a lot of hate lately. I was wondering how to deal with it. Well, this comes up a lot, and I'm sure you guys know and aren't surprised. I get it too. Now, it does help that I have a lot of people who love me, and it sort of overcompensates for the haters. But it's always a problem for everyone, and I want you to think of it like this, and this is I was talking to someone about this, and they came up with a really good idea, or I guess a good perspective on it, and it's that if you get a lot of hate, think of that person as a troll. That's really all they are. If they are coming specifically to hate on you, that's just what they do. They derive some sort of entertainment and pleasure from that, and that is the definition of a troll. So if you see a comment that's directed at you and it's hateful, just think, oh, that's a troll. Just think of it before you even continue reading the comment or whatever it is. Just think, oh, it's a troll, and read it under the assumption that it is a troll, and you'll be like, oh, of course he says that he's a troll, and don't take it as this is really at me. It's just the type of person that they are, and if you read everything as coming from a troll, and you know that that's the type of person that they are, and that's just what they do to everyone, it'll be a lot easier to deal with. Beast Crafter says, hey Thing, what helped you not be nervous when making Minecraft videos? Because mine have bad commentary. Practice and experience. Really, honestly, that is all that I can, that's all I can tell you. I mean, mine was really bad commentary at the start as well, and it just came with being more comfortable, being more experienced, and that's really all there is. Miss Cat Meow MC asks, when you lived in Indonesia, did you ever see McDonald's? If so, what was on the list on the board? Thanks for being awesome, Noodle On. Yeah, I did. Well, when I first moved there, there were none. There was no McDonald's, and I remember that whenever we would take a trip to Singapore, we would have to bring back Big Macs for our friends. I know it's weird because McDonald's is junk food, and it's really not that good. But if you can't have it, it is really good. So our American friends, we'd be like, oh, we're going to Singapore. Like, oh my God, can you please bring me back a Big Mac? And we would go to McDonald's on the way to the airport, and we would bring them this like cold burger, and they'd love it. But they did end up opening them one while we lived there in Indonesia, in Jakarta. And the menu looked very similar to what we have here. More basic, there weren't like, well, even at the time here in the US, they didn't have premium salads or anything like that. There was no health trend. But the one big difference was instead of calling them hamburgers, they called them beef burgers. And even the wrapping on the hamburgers said beef burgers. And the reason for that is because a lot of Indonesians are Muslim, and Muslims are prohibited from eating pork. So even though you guys know, and everyone knows, a hamburger is actually beef, but the translation from hamburger, it sort of translates toward pork because pork and ham sound similar, even though hamburger is named after Hamburg, Germany, and not ham. But they didn't want people to be confused, like, oh, I can't eat that. It's ham, it's pork. I can't eat it. But so yeah, that was the real only difference in the menu, and obviously the prices were different as well. Frog Sambob says, hey Thing, I was wondering, would it be more beneficial to your channel to watch your videos on desktop or laptop than it would, say, on a tablet or other mobile device? I want to help support your channel in the best way possible when I watch your videos. Well, thank you for being so concerned about that. Honestly, I don't really know the difference. I think maybe the ads run more often on a computer than they would on a tablet, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're watching, as long as you're enjoying the comment, sharing it, clicking the like button and stuff like that, that is, that's the most important thing, that you guys are actually liking the videos, and I mean literally liking the videos, not necessarily clicking the like button, although that does help. It's more important to me that you guys are enjoying the videos and watching the videos on whatever you guys want to watch it on. Michael Smith asks, Think, why haven't you completed Survival Episode 3 Distress Signal yet? Where's your walkthrough? Congrats on 2 years. Well, it is completed at this point, and after this video, Road to Captain Thinknoodles will be out a little bit later tonight. But the reason for that, and you'll hear it in Road to Captain Thinknoodles, is I was waiting for it all day Thursday. It was supposed to come out usually 3 p.m., but not always, actually hardly ever. But I was waiting for it all day on Thursday. Didn't come out, and I wasn't home on Friday or Saturday. So the videos that you guys saw that I had made were already pre-made on Thursday. And so when it came out on Friday at whatever time it came out, I couldn't play it. So I couldn't play it until Sunday morning, and that's why it was delayed. Chaz C asks, do you watch the Club Penguin spoiler alerts? Yeah, I do, and I think, I mean, I really do enjoy them. I think that the team has really good chemistry, and I think they're really funny. So the next few people ask about the most recent ThinkSlab, where I rescued my wife from the video, and they ask whether it was a sound effect I added, or if I pre-recorded it, or whatever. Well, what I did is I pre-recorded everything, kind of like you guys saw in the making of the Wizard of Oz video, where I pre-recorded what I wanted to say, and I knew what I wanted her to say. And so I did all that part, and I used an NPC for her character up there. That really wasn't her in the game. It was just her character as an NPC. And then she came home from work, and then I said, okay, right here, just sit down in front of the microphone, say these two things, and I want you to say this one, I want you to act like nothing's wrong, and this one, I want you to act really cheesy. And we did a couple takes of it because she wasn't cheesy enough. I really wanted that, oh, Thinknoodles, you're my hero, to be really, really just, you know, just like really, really covered in cheese. And yeah, it was really her. And yeah, I did add her voice into it afterward. Mayor Solanki asks, in the Prison Break mod, how do you make those buttons pop out like the torch button and the bookshelf button to escape? Those are part of the mod that is in the description. They are really, really cool mods, or really, really cool items in the mod. And there are a few more that I didn't even cover. The spikes are part of it as well. So you guys can check them out if you download that mod. And speaking of downloading mods, Casey Plays MC says, can you make a video on how to get a mod? I need to know. And you're right. This needs to happen pretty soon. I'm hoping for this week. I'm going to make one video that will cover how to add mods to both PCs and Macs, because I know that there's so many of you that use both, or well, there's so many of you out there that some use PC, some use Mac, and yeah, I do want to get that done for you guys so I can show you exactly how to do it, because I've done a lot of ThinkSlabs at this point. Almost, we're getting up to 30 now, and I know you guys are getting more and more into the mods that I'm using, and a lot of you don't know how to put them into your Minecraft, and I want to show you how. So the next two people ask the same question, although they don't know it's the same question, and it's about not enough items. And when you point at a block, the name of it appears at the top of the screen and also shows you recipes. Those are both a function of the not enough items mod. You have to turn on, well, the recipes is part of it. You just, that's part of, if you put your mouse over the item and you press the R key, it will show you the recipe. But as far as the block names that it pops up in the middle, that's an option you have to enable in Not Enough Items. Ryan Green says, I think you made a boo-boo in ThinkSlab. Dave in the movie has 2 eyes and not one. Can you fix that? It bugs me. Or, well, can you fix that? It bugs me. No. Well, see, the thing is, I made Dave as a one-eyed minion, and I had you guys name him, and the most common choice was Dave. In fact, and also Kevin actually has 2 eyes in the movie as well. I'm pretty sure both Dave and Kevin do. But, you know, Kevin being directly related to Dave as a cousin had to have 1 eye as well, and I like to differentiate them from the 2-eyed minions. I think in the movie Despicable Me, the only one that has 1 eye is named Stuart, but these are our minions, so we get to decide their names. So yeah, I like it the way it is. We cannot change it. It's far too late for that. Lola Aguan asks, hey, what's the command for the minions taking no damage? Thanks. I'll put it on screen right now, and what you have to do, and you can do this with any mob. You can do it with a pig, a creeper, whatever you want. I don't recommend doing it with a creeper, but you do /summon, then the mob's name, and then in curly brackets put invulnerable : 1, or yeah, invulnerable : 1, and that will summon that mob, whatever it may be, as invulnerable, and you won't be able to kill them. And like I said, if you do a creeper, you're going to swing at him and he's going to blow up on you. And I guess, I don't know, I wonder if he would kill himself that way. But either way, you won't be able to stop him. Jamie Lockhart asks, will you be putting out a behind the scenes video for the Escape from Monstercat video? Well, I can't now because I've done another Things Lab since then. And it overwrote a lot of the footage in my editor, but not yet. I'm going to do a lot of space between the behind the scenes or magic behind videos. I don't want to do them all the time and spoil some of the stuff that I do. And also, I'm using a new editor now. I'm using Final Cut Pro X only for Things Lab. For all my other videos, I'm still using ScreenFlow for the editing, because the editing for those is very basic. And the editing for Things Lab is becoming more and more advanced. So I needed a more advanced editor. And I tried Premiere Pro, the Creative Cloud trial, 30-day trial thing. And it was a very powerful editor. It just wasn't for me. I didn't like the workflow. But Final Cut Pro X is a lot more like ScreenFlow's editor, and I love it. So yeah, it's really, really great. And it's offering me a lot more editing and better organization than just within ScreenFlow. So once I get the hang of that editor a little bit more, then I'll show you guys some of the editing techniques that I use in it. Oliver Aitken Inks asks, did you make your skin? Because it is awesome, Noodle on. Yes, I did, and thank you very much. And I do recommend that, especially those of you guys who are starting or trying to start YouTube channels. That is extremely important. Make your own skin, make it look different than anything else you've ever seen, so that once you do get a following, people will recognize you instantly. It needs to be iconic and different from anything else you've ever seen. Bricksboy555 asks, in Scary Future, how did Kevin lose one heart when the other named minions can't die? Well, Kevin and Dave are a little bit different than the named minions. In general, Kevin and Dave are always custom NPCs. So I can interact with them, I can make them follow me, I can make them do things, whereas the minions, the named minions that are named after you guys, I can't interact with them very much other than look at them, and they'll look back at me, and I can trade with them. But they don't follow me, and I can't make them fight or anything like that. And I need Kevin to do that sometimes, and I need him to light off TNT and things like that. So I need to make him a custom NPC. So custom NPCs you can't make invulnerable. DRYV asks, in Things Lab, will you ever run out of minions to name? Yeah. No. Since I use a /summon command for every video, I don't think that I'll ever run out of names, because on every video there's at least 1,000 people that try and get a named minion, so I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Young Flame asks, how did you get the skins and names for your subs? Oh, well, I think you're talking about the Escape from Monstercat video. And what I did is I went on to Twitter and I said, hey, anyone want to be in jail in the latest Things Lab? Send me your IGN, and I just copied all the tweets with the IGNs, and I used the custom NPCs mod, and you can just paste in an IGN and it will grab that person's skin and put them into the game. And that's what I did. I forgot how many there were. I think there had to be at least 50 of you guys that responded back on Twitter, and I added everyone. Okay, now big topic right now in Minecraft is the EULA, and probably some of you don't even know what that stands for. That is an end user license agreement, and you agree to that when you do just about anything. iTunes, almost all software, when you first install it, you know, it has that long document. You just click accept, you don't read it. that is an end user license agreement. And basically by clicking agree, you agree to it. And you agreed to one when you bought Minecraft or played it for the first time. I'm not sure when you actually submit the EULA agreement. However, probably when you buy it. But anyway, so there's been a lot of talk about it recently, and Mojang is wanting to protect their intellectual property and their own reputation with the EULA. Now, I don't think, now don't quote me on this 100%, but I don't think it's actually changed at all. I think that all that Mojang is doing is sort of drawing attention to a certain, not amendment, but a certain point in their license agreement where it says you can't sell parts of our game to make money. I think that it's always been there, but Mojang has kind of not really enforced it. And they've seen a lot of servers being like, oh, well, this is a new minigame that we have. It's, I'm not going to single any type of minigame out, but this is a new minigame we have. It's really cool. And if you want, if you pay us only $50, you can get an iron sword and iron armor to start with. And also, if you want, you can pay $100 and you can start with all diamond armor. And not only that, for only $20, you can buy 50 levels of XP so you can enchant that armor, things like that. And Mojang is saying, hey, XP and diamond armor and things, these are things that exist in our game. These are our game's assets. And you can't just sell those because those are ours. And part of the license agreement that you agreed to in buying Minecraft, you agreed to in running a Minecraft server, is that you're not allowed to sell our property. And I mean, this goes for anything. This would be like, and I understand server owners are upset, and I honestly don't even know what it means for what we even do on the core. We don't sell things like that, but we may have to change the way that we do things. I'm not sure yet. But it has ruffled many feathers in the server community because people were making a good amount of money off of these things. And the problem is that parents are getting upset because, you know, a kid goes and buys, one of you guys goes and buys Minecraft for $27 and like, oh, mom, I need another $50 for Minecraft. Oh, I need another $20 for Minecraft. I need another, you know, and they're like, wait a minute. I thought this was only $27 and now you need this and you need that, and you need this and you need that. And the parents aren't differentiating or aren't able to understand what the difference is. Like, wait, but we already paid for Minecraft. Yeah, but I need this. And like, but what do you need that for? I thought that it was a one-time thing. No, I need that too. And parents are thinking that it's Mojang charging them, and there's a whole thing with people's, you know, with parents' credit cards and stuff like that too. And I have actually seen on Reddit, there was a server, and I don't even know which one it was, but there was a server selling ranks, and the top rank was $10,000, and it blew my mind that that they would even think to charge that. So that's what it's really about. It's more about getting these microtransactions under control. And they're not trying to sink the server community, although that might be what some people are trying to have you believe. I would really pay more attention, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on about it. Pay more attention to Mojang and their website about what the real details of this are, because there are going to be people that are like, oh my God, they're ruining Minecraft. And may not be the case. What they're doing is changing the way that server owners monetize their servers, and they're fully within their rights to do that. I mean, this I saw someone liken this to, well, you know, this is like, you know, would you think it would, you know, because people are like, hey, wait, what? This has been okay for so long, and that doesn't make it right. And people are saying, you know, this is the same thing as you selling a t-shirt with the Minecraft logo and a creeper on it. You're not allowed to do that. And that's what they're basically doing. It's virtual, but it's the same thing. And they're not allowed to do that. Now, this is what I've taken from everything I've read. Maybe I'm completely wrong. And if I am, go ahead and tell me, you're wrong, dude. And this is why. And I'll read your comments and further educate myself. I'm just trying to give you guys the information and knowledge that I've gathered so far. And, you know, I don't really know where this is headed. And I don't know what it means for what we can and can't do on the core. But I think that while it is going to change the way that people make money, or not necessarily make money, but pay for their hosting, try and break even on servers. It will change the way that that's done, but I don't know. It's going to be a transitional period where people are going to be really, really mad and really, really upset. So, and that's what's happening right now. And I don't know how far or when these changes, well, not really changes, but when Mojang's really, really going to start enforcing their licensing agreement. And maybe what it'll be, guys, wow, this is going on forever, but maybe what it'll be is because some of the large server networks, you know, it's not for a large server with Bungie and stuff like that. It does require a lot of resources. I can attest to that. And it's not cheap to run a server, a large multiplayer server network. But those with the huge user bases, what they may be able to do, and a lot of servers don't do this. You know, something like Mineplex, they don't do these microtransactions where you know, you can buy XP levels and things like that, and or you know, or have game types where the really only way to do well in the game type is you have to buy diamond armor or things like that. They don't have that, and they may not have to worry as much as others that do. But those huge server networks with the original game types and things like that, who have an ultra rank, or like we have on the core, we have you know, emerald and diamond, and it may be that we may be able to purchase a license or lease a license from Mojang each month that allows us to do those things. And that might be something that Mojang will be willing to work with on servers like Mineplex or Hypixel or the Hive or even us. But we'll see down the road, guys. It's not doom and gloom like you guys may have seen. Okay, that's enough. Wow, that was like a 10-minute answer. I'm so sorry, guys. So, Cool Cat says, think, please put this on us. Think there's an earthquake happening right now outside your apartment and you had to take only one thing. What would it be? Kopi, Think's wife, all your noodles, or the car? Well, unfortunately, well, I would take Think's wife. Think's wife would take Kopi. And those are really, out of those four things, those are the two most important things of all. Lucas McCoy asks, what side of the bed do you wake up on? Usually the side I go to sleep. And speaking of sleep, Kostas Tasio asks, how many hours do you sleep in a day? In the day, usually I don't sleep any hours. At night, we sleep between 5 and 6 hours, somewhere in that range. Rachel Robertson says, do you remember what your noodles were first invented? I think it was in ancient China. I mean, you were there back then, right? Of course I was. Who do you think invented noodles? This guy. All right, guys, that's it for this week's Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, noodle on.